You might think it's too hard to let go of the things that aren't healthy. But if you think that, you're actually wrong. It's not hard, it's impossible. Literally, you cannot let go of something you're holding on to. That's impossible. Like, I'm holding on to this, okay? How am I gonna let it go? I have to stop holding on to it. That's all it is. Habits, negative people, addictions, all of these things that comforts and things that people are holding on to, they're struggling to let go of them. And the reason they're struggling to let go of them is because they're holding on to them. You don't have to let go. All you have to do is stop holding on to it. And then it leaves on its own. And then it's easy. A lot of times people talking about balance are not really talking about balance. So for example, like a person will work really hard all week, drinking coffee, sit in front of the computer, in the office, sitting in traffic, push, as many phone calls as you can. And then they're gonna quote unquote balance that with going out to the bars and getting drunk on the weekend. Literally nothing to do with balance at all. Like that is not only not balance, but it has literally nothing to do with balance. You're stressing yourself out and then stressing yourself out more in a different way. Like, it's not balance. Here's another example. It's like going on a really long run and then treating yourself to a cupcake because you've earned it, Not balance. Not at all. Nothing to do with balance whatsoever. These are excuses, actually. It's a subconscious process, but these are only excuses to indulge in lustful pleasures. I'm not saying that religiously, but just technically, that's technically what it is. Going out and getting drunk, lustful pleasure. Eating a cupcake, lustful pleasure. Making money, stimulating the nervous system, lustful pleasure. These are all lustful pleasures. I love money. Obviously, I'm not hating on it. It's not what you do, it's how and why you do it. Another example of not balance is like smoking cigarettes, but taking lung detox supplements. Sorry, that doesn't work. So, what balance really is, first of all, it's an energy. And so to be in balance and to understand balance, you literally have to be balanced. So that means your nervous system. Your nervous system needs to be balanced in order for your mind, which all of your thoughts comes from your nervous system, literally. Your brain is connected to your spine, which is connected to your entire nervous system. And your thoughts begin with your nerves. It doesn't work the other way around. Like, your thoughts don't change your nervous system unless you're intentionally conscious. That's literally what consciousness is. Your nervous system senses all of this information. It sends the information to the spine and up to the brain, which gives you your thoughts. And so in order for you to understand and to be and to live balance, you have this is why I live out in nature and why it's so important to me. And when I did live in Los Angeles, I lived in West Hollywood, which, as you know, is the middle of the city, for a long time. I was like, man, how am I going to get out of this energy? How am I going to get out of here? And it's hard. It's so expensive. When I moved to Los Angeles, it was so expensive. I was trying to find a place I could afford, and I lived in Tucson, Arizona, because I graduated from University of Arizona. And I was on Craigslist looking for a studio apartment. The cheapest thing I could find was $750 a month. And when I went to Los Angeles to sign the lease, I found out it was a renovated boiler room. That was what I could find in the middle of Los Angeles for $750 a month. So I was like, well, I'll take it. And over the course of years, I worked very hard, made a little bit of money, climbed the ladder of life a little bit, got into a nicer place, but still could not afford to live in nature, in the nature of Los Angeles, which is either way up in Topanga, or like basically like Venice Beach on the beach. And both very high demand environments that are often not available and always very expensive. But eventually I came to a spiritual awakening, quit all of my jobs, gave all of my things away, moved out into my car and served the divine, God, the creator, the present moment with all of my time and energy. And then I was able to live in nature because I lived in my car. So I could go, I could work all day long, and working for me at that time was doing what I love. Often it involved a lot of yoga, breath work, alchemy, making remedies, sharing remedies with people at events and things. It wasn't like, I wasn't just like doing what I didn't like for work. I wasn't like overstimulating my nervous system for work and things. I was like in the moment serving the divine, which is balance. And then I would sleep, in my car, like on the side of the beach while I watched the stars and through my window and heard the sound of the ocean waves with my windows cracked. Or I would fall asleep like up on a canyon in my car, to the sound of the crickets and the birds and things like that. And so then I would be in nature, even though I didn't have a place, but I made that happen through that sacrifice. So then, because my nervous system became balanced, I was able to see clearly, to think clearly, and to manifest quickly and clearly. Balance is choosing health all the time. Picture yourself as the tip of an arrow, and you want the tip of your arrow to be balanced, meaning perfectly sharpened in every angle so that it is swift. You would never look at a tip of an arrow that is perfectly sharpened and symmetrical on one side, and then on the other side, jagged and screwed up, and say, this arrow is balanced because part of it is screwed up and the other part is perfect. You would never do that, right? So then why would you do something healthy and then say, I'm going to balance this by treating myself to something unhealthy? That would be the same thought process. And that is not balance. It's simply an excuse to indulge in lustful pleasures. And, if you want to be a quick, swift, accurate, precise arrow, then you're going to have to drop all of the excuses, all of the victim stories. And really the best practice of balance is yoga. Yoga means to yoke. And yoga is named after the process of yoking or pairing your mind with your body. And so this is what brings about the balance, the physical with the spiritual. And if you do yoga in nature, then that's it. Like, that is literally the practice of balance. And that's how you come into balance, true balance. True balance is also presence in the present moment, in the now. Like, not in the past, not in the future, but like fully absorbed in the present moment now. That's true balance. Like, if you think about a needle, if you spin a needle, it's spinning really, really, really fast. The faster it spins, the straighter and more balanced it's going to be. And the slower it spins, the more wobbly it gets until it falls down. Your vibration works the same way. So as you raise your vibration and drop all that doesn't serve you, your vortex, which is what you are, a lot of people don't understand that, like, their energy field is actually a vortex. And so this is how manifestation works too, is that your vortex is pulling things into it and putting energies out. It's also a toroidal field vortex. And so as your vibration rises, your vortex becomes more and more and more tighter and balanced. And so dropping things and habits and people and addictions and things like that are, when I say like don't serve you, obviously I don't mean don't serve you. What I mean is that aren't healthy and aren't balanced themselves, then you naturally raise your vibration and become more balanced too. And because you think of yourself as like a ship, like a hot air balloon. Like if you want to go higher, you have to drop the weight, right? Same thing.